Just one summer of rowing and a chance for a National Eights title, the men's Novice Eights, with the North Shore crew, the result of a unique recruitment drive.
We had a series of 3 intakes, we called them. Started in June, then we had another one in late July and another one in early September. And we had a meeting with about 20 guys, each one, put a hard sell on them. They had to decide that night whether they want to be part of the program. We had Keith Trask, Olympic gold medalist, to actually show them an Olympic medal, and we pitched it to, do you want to have a crack to see if you're good enough to be a rowing Olympian? And out of that we obtained 13 people. So we saw between 50 to 60 guys. We chose to do the project with men because I felt that the New Zealand women's rowing side was pretty strong at the moment, but men we could have greater depth, so we're going to have a crack at that. So that's what we've pitched. We've come to the Nationals to row these guys in novice and club level 8s and 4s. And we've got tomorrow and Saturday to show whether we've done a very good job or not.
And how have they been going so far?
The Novi men, just as a bunch of novices, have held their own up here in the North Island regattas. And it's unfortunate actually at this National Champs there are no South Island crews in the Novi event, so we're going to rerun some fairly close racing, I have to say, in the 8.
So let's see how they go. North Shore in the centre in blue. Waikato have 2 crews here on this side, and Wellington and Clifton make up the field in the men's Novice 8s.
And a very interesting experiment from North Shore. Let's see how their men go in the middle of the picture in the dark blue. And there we have them out of the start, the North Shore men's Novice 8, picked by Olympic coach Brian Hawthorne. In the early stage, you can see they're just trailing Waikato, the 2 Waikato crews. The one at the bottom of the screen in the red boat is a school crew from Hamilton Boys High, and their club mates outside them. But look at the top of the screen, Wellington in the red and white stripes. Very long, strong crew, and they would seem to have the early lead in the men's Novice 8. Always one of the classics and eagerly awaited races at the National Championships because, of course, this is where the new rowers try their hand at a National Championships for the first time.
This Wellington crew, there's several lawyers in there, just a bunch of guys taking up rowing to get fit. They were saying they do a lot of off-the-water training with the conditions not always great on Wellington Harbour.
Bit of a surprise, this Wellington combination. Waikato and North Shore have raced hard against each other all season. Wellington haven't really featured in the North Island regattas this year, but they have got a commanding lead now on these 2 antagonists, Waikato and North Shore. Great rivalry between those 2 clubs over the years. But just look at this control that this Novice 8 is achieving between the strokes. That's the key in rowing. One of the keys, get a lot of pressure on the blade as you push and then let the boat glide between the strokes, and they're doing a lovely job. So they approach the halfway mark in the men's Novice 8. Wellington, just that 1 length lead of North Shore now. They've just eked a canvas. It's the front 2 metres of the boat, ahead of Waikato, and just starting to put some pressure now on this Waikato crew. This is the hard part of the race where people have got to tough it out.
All sorts of professions in this North Shore crew that Brian Hawthorne put together, doctors and engineers. Most of them planning to continue their rowing next year, but here's Wellington inside the last 150 metres, stroked by Nick Warren, coached by Richard Smith. And they're racing for the finish. They're going to take out the men's Novice 8s. Great effort. Come up here to Karapiro from Wellington and win the novice title. North Shore and Waikato battling for second. But here's Wellington about to cross the line. The men's Novice 8s. And what a thrill for them in their first season in the sport. The hooter for Wellington. There's the gap back to North Shore, who've got up for second, and they've burnt off Waikato almost a full length. Waikato third. Well, there's the official result, the men's Novice 8s. Wellington the winners, and the traditional dunking for the coxswain, Catherine Ricketts.